Yo, this is Art the Architect with More Than a Haircut podcast. Hope everybody's been well. Been a lot of dope energy, a lot of overwhelming positive energy. Today's topic is failure becomes a lesson instead of a loss when you really think about it, and it's um it's a point that I've really been thinking about and driving home because like I had a few podcasts lined up, but they didn't really go through. But I ain't really look at it as, man, I'm down and out about, not getting my people on at the time because schedules were conflicting. But I'm thankful for the time because it gave me more time to prepare for more guests in the future. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the the thought of failure being a loss. A lot of people just look at it and get down. I always think about when I was playing basketball and being a point guard. I would make sure that everybody on the court was good. They get in their hot spots. You know what I'm saying? I would get in my hot spot during the game. Cool. But at the end of the game, I'm telling everybody get out the way. I gotta win. I gotta take the shot. I don't care if I win or lose on that shit. It's just more or less like, listen, I'm gonna take the shot. I want to take the shot because it's just more or less. I know some people can't handle that loss. Some people can't handle that loss. But for me, it's just more or less like I've been putting in the work. I've been shooting outside on the concrete. I've been dribbling the hell out the ball. Let me take this opportunity to win the game and put everybody on my back. Like, listen, win, lose, or draw. Look, I don't care. I'm not worried about what everybody about to say, what they about to put in the paper. I'm not worried about none of that. Just get out the way. Let me do my thing. But I also was just thinking about in life, it's you come to grips with failing. At least I have. You know what I mean? Where it's like, okay, just because something didn't work out doesn't mean it was a loss. Whether it's a relationship, whether it's just trying to put together, I ain't gonna say trying, I say putting together a team. You know what I mean? Like it don't always work out. It does not work out. Regardless of you thinking that it's supposed to, it's sometimes it's just not time. And what I find to be true is over time it's just more or less the force of wanting things to work is what gets in the way and not allowing things to take place organically. When you allow it to take place organically, it's almost like that quotable on, I'd rather take the steps than the elevator because if I as quick as it took me to go up the elevator, if I'm taking my time getting up the steps, if I have to fall back a couple of steps in order to go forward and in order to progress, I'm good. I'm not I'm not seeing this thing as a loss. I'm seeing this thing as an opportunity. So, to any other youth, even my elders, even what I mean, people in the age range as well as myself, it's just more or less like we gonna fall short sometimes. We gonna fall short. That's just a part of the I say the game, or that's just a part of life. But it's ways to be productive. It's ways to look at it as like, okay, that's a lesson. That ain't no loss. Because if I look at it as a lesson, the next opportunity I get, I'm gonna learn something from that, and then I'm gonna learn something from that. I've been feeling for the last what? Let's just say 20 years. This shit hadn't been successful. Man, it has not been. When I think about it, you get put out of college, you're like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? You don't get a chance to hoop like as good as you are in your mind, and you good, and people around know you good. You don't get that opportunity. You don't catch that break. Then marriage don't always just go through like you want. You know what I'm saying? You maintain it with your children, and it's just like one thing after another. But guess what? I'm alive. Life is beautiful. Even through this whole situation of this pandemic and everything going on, it's just more or less like, look, I was in the garden. I found peace. So it's just like a peace of mind is just like having $1 million to me. My thing is, I just haven't materialized the money yet, and I see that it's dangerous when you come into that place. I'm not saying in a negative manner. It's just more or less when you find peace, a peace of mind, a peace of self. Can't my question is like, can you stop a bullet in motion? You know what I mean? And it's it's just one of those things that I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for the wins. I'm thankful for the losses. I'm thankful for the short goals and accomplishing those short goals. I'm thankful for the people that I've been around, that have been challenging me, that have been seeing my growth, seeing me productive, seeing me progress. It's just like I can only imagine the next decade, what we tap into, how we vibing, how we shifting things. You know what I mean? Like it's a yin yang effect, just like you see the pain behind me. I'm evolving the other pain behind me. It's just I'm 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 ecstatic. I'm ecstatic to see my personal growth and to see like just the time, time after time after time after time. Like it don't go as you plan, or it doesn't go as I plan. But listen, when I say that I've been able to tap into some abundance and like it almost feels uncontrollable to where it's just like, man, everything I'm seeing is materializing. Everything I've been saying is materializing in the physical. All because of the work and all because of the focus and even points that I know my pops was sharing with me on focus, on focus, on focus. And I'm like, man, what? Like I need some help in that area. Focus. Like I get it. I get the space of isolation to be able to think, to be able to see. And even in saying seeing, hats off to my grandmother, Maddie Lee Harmony. I never got a chance to see her, but I made a post recently where it was just like I call her the hat goddess. She died when my pops was 5, but she gave my uncles and them a quote that just passed on. How they say the original ones or the ancient ones, they passed on messages. They didn't really write them down. So it's just like my grandma having a vision saying, at some point in the 60s, she's saying that you're gonna be able to press a button and travel all the way around the world. And I'm like, damn, man, that lady really had vision shit. She was rocking some big ass hats, you know what I'm saying? I love it. So I'm like, why not attach that, level of interest to my life as far as like how my pops does, you know what I'm saying? Like how I do. And now it's just more or less I'm engulfed by just the flyness, the freshness of being able to rock a fedora. You know what I mean? Why not? It's a part of my makeup anyway. You know, I'm from a great cloth, and I appreciate everything that I stand on. I stand on the shoulders of giants, and not just my father's side, my mom's side. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about, man, what my granddad was able to do in the time that he was alive, doing construction, having, you know what I'm saying? Like just having that mind frame of, listen, you can pour the concrete, and I've been able to ride by spaces and places where my grandfather poured the concrete and he is dead or gone, but he just let me know, grandson, I'm still alive. I left a legacy for you to keep on, and you and your brother and your sister and your cousins. It's like your uncles, you know what I'm saying? Like aunts. Shit, how does your legacy, how do you leave your legacy? How do you branch into this thing? How do you do it? Man, this man didn't have no college education. like that game that they sold us. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that we don't need it, but how often do we put the energy into the family structure and set it up properly to where it's like, hey man, all this energy I'm giving these companies, why I ain't giving this energy to my own? At least I know that I can pass something on, like my boy Dame Dash said. And that's why it's like I'm looking forward to this interview, that's coming up with Dame Dash through my brother Derek Grace. It's just like I can only imagine the connections that continuously grow. That's why I'm like, man, failure ain't nothing but a lesson. It's nothing but a lesson. It's nothing but a lesson. That's what it is. It's not a loss. You know, I think about my homeboy, Robert Noel with his brand original copy. It's like I always think in terms of, you know, why not be original? That's what my pops always told me. Instead of being a copy, like I can't copy the cloth. Shit, I am who I am. I came from him. I came from my mom. So that's a cold combination. And now it's just like the presentation is just getting doper. It's just growing. It's in the words of my dictionary, it ain't getting worser. You know what I'm saying? I know people be like, that ain't even no word. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But I'm definitely looking forward to the guests that's lined up and the ones that didn't get a chance to, join. They will be coming back through. So it's again, it's not a loss. It's just with these, it's been time. But also just telling the youngins like, don't hold your head down. Don't hold your head down. I think about one of my youngins in Florida named Kenley. Um, he was a coach at the school with Bryce Gowdy. I did a podcast about Bryce Gowdy about a year ago, and it that whole piece just struck a nerve because I can only imagine the pressure that the youth had in order for him to take his own life and not knowing what was up ahead, what was up, like the opportunities up ahead. Like you going to Georgia Tech. Hell, growing up, I ain't even know what technology. I didn't know that the tech side was technology. That's just failure is a lesson. It's not a loss. You know what I'm saying? But you know, for Bryce to lose his life like he did, um, my heart goes out to any of the youth that they striving to do something, but it seems like it's so much pressure. It's like nobody listen to them. Man, listen, man, you can hit my direct line if you going through some shit like that, man. Hit my email, DM me, whatever. Like we can talk about this shit. It is not. This shit is not that crucial, man. This shit is not that crucial. He had a ticket to the NFL basically from what I'm hearing as far as like how cold he was. You know, that stint at Georgia Tech could have opened up some doors where his parents could have moved down here from Florida, moved the whole family. Just off of him leveraging the power that he had within. I know we can't talk about it, but at some place or some bridge, we have to have a space that we can convene and talk and discuss because um, a lot of focus has been taken off of the mental aspect, and and a lot of it has been brought to the table because a lot of the youth going through a hell of a lot that when they express themselves, nobody wanted to listen to them. I know what this like. I know what this like firsthand, but it didn't stop me. Nah, it only made me better. It only made me want to gain the knowledge, to get the information, and at some point apply it and it make it applicable to what and who I've become. You know what I mean? So I just say all of this to say, like I'll always be productive And that's shout out to Rosebud Bitter Dose. He say always be playing, always be pimping. I'm saying always be productive. And it's no disrespect to the OG. It's nothing but love to him because he giving a lot of wisdom that, hey man, people need to hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't no crash course, but he's giving some crumbs that I need. If it wasn't for some seeds that were dropped on me from my OGs like El Hakim, you know what I'm saying, my pops, my uncles, you know what I'm saying, like, I wouldn't be where I am. And these are men that help shape and strengthen my mental. Like, he and I always talk. He said, "Iron don't sharpen iron. It takes a stone to sharpen iron." And I understood. I understood what he was saying then, and I understood when I was saying it. And my uncle came back and said, "Nephew, you right." I'm like, I get it. Nothing can stop that. You know what I mean? Like, those that have the wisdom, they are the stones. They've been here before. But at the same time, the youth are the stone too, is what I understand. When you really look at it, the youth are the stones. They can help sharpen, you know what I'm saying, the iron with the elders. So at some point, they need the wisdom. They got everything else. The youth can make $1 million right now on the phone. We weren't able to do that back in the day. Not from a level of with technology. Man. And it also makes me think about Nipsey, and some opportunities were presented to be able to get a chance to soon sit down with Nipsey, and it didn't happen. But it's like a lot of inspiring information that he shared, and that's coming out in the next few years is going, it's going to shock people. But I'm like, hey, you just got to be able to pay attention and understand, like, some books that he was sharing, some knowledge and information that he was sharing. This just open your mind up. You know what I mean? Take some time out and just tap in. But I'm not gonna go on and keep it all long drawn out. But it's definitely been some great some great energy going on. It's been some great vibes, a lot of great opportunities that I've been presented with, and I'm taking those opportunities, and I'm gonna continue to build. You know, I'm looking forward to working with the ones that know, like, what we putting on the table and what we presenting, and continue to support, and also, subscribe to the podcast, whether that's on Anchor, whether that's on iTunes, Spotify, whatever medium you on. I'm on there. It's More Than a Haircut podcast. I am on there. I am already the architect. I'm continuing to build this space. We also have some helpful information that people can tap into. Again, subscribe. Subscribe if you're on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. And every Friday, looking to drop new content. Sometimes it may be, you might get two, you might get three sometimes, you might get one. You might get some words of wisdom on small talk. But it's definitely opportune time to just, hey, reach out to me, because in a minute I'm gonna be so busy. It's like, I'm not gonna have time. I understand it, but I'm thankful. Again, I am Art the Architect, and this is More Than a Haircut podcast. Peace.